What's up, everybody? RexEncholada here, and today I got a OU battle. This is a fun battle I had versus my boy Eon about a month ago, and we were just in the team building phase. We wanted to just make some fun teams and test them out, and this is one of the things that these are one of the battles that we had. We had like 57,000 battles that day, but this is one of the things we had. So the threats on his side of the field are definitely Metagross, because whenever you see a Metagross in OU, it's always agility. And if you look, my team is not the fastest. Like, I have a Staraptor, I have a Jirachi, and I have a Gengar. Those are the fast things on my team. Gengar gets mutilated by its Zen headbutt. And then, like, Rachi can't really take EQs because I'm Scarf. And then Staraptor is not the bulkiest thing around. And I'm running Banded Reckless, so I don't even have that Intimidate to fall back on. So if my Scarm dies and he sets up with Metagross, it's pretty much game. So I just have to watch out for that. Try to wear it down, I guess, with hazards or something. Even though it resists rocks and I don't have spikes, or I do have spikes, but he's probably gonna save it for the end or whatever. That's what you do with the Gilligross. But anyway, let's just get straight to this battle. So I'm gonna lead with my Skarmory, and he's gonna lead with his Hippowdon. And I know that standard Hippowdon doesn't run Ice Fang. They run Whirlwind, Stealth Rock, Slack Off, and Earthquake. So I know if I taunt him, he won't be able to touch me, which means that A, I can keep my Sturdy intact, B, I can keep my Cut Step from activating, and C, I can get up my free rocks. So I'm just going to throw those little Geodudes over there, let them do what they want to do whenever Poke comes in, and he switches to his Hydreigon. And fearing a Fire Blast, I'm just going to go to my Gastrodon East. I don't know why I said East, but I'm just going to go to my Gastrodon, as he instead goes for a U-turn. So this, I guess, leads me to believe that he's more of a, he might be Scarfed just because there's no other reason. And here I just predict him to predict me to switch out and go for the Spike, so I stay and go for an Ice Beam. But he doesn't. Luckily I live a Giga Drain. I have no idea how, but luckily I live, and I'm just going to double to Staraptor, and that does a lot. So he, like, it's weird because Staraptor didn't take that well, but Gastrodon took it anyway. So for the fear of Brave Bird, I know he's going to want to switch out, so I'm just going to go for a U-turn, and because I'm Banded, that does 20% to Hippo, and I just go back out to Scarm, and we're going to repeat the process that we did on turn 1, which is me taunting and him switching out to Wobbuffet. I don't know why he switched out to Wobbuffet, because honestly, after a taunt, it can't touch me. But I go for a Spike, predicting him to predict me the taunt and just switch out, and I didn't know what he was going to switch out to. And on this turn, I go for the taunt because I know a taunted Wobbuffet, if you don't attack it, can't do anything. So here he's in a bad position. He just has to stay in and get Spike stacked on him, or switch out and let me get up another Spike, and that's exactly what he does. He chooses a ladder. He switches out, and I get up my second layer of spikes, and so now I can just go to my Gastro, fodder it, because it's at a range where it's not going to be doing anything anyway, considering it's very slow. The only thing it outspeeds is like maybe his Hippo and his Wobbuffet, so it's not really going to be doing much. So on the free switch, I'm going to go into my Jirachi, and because I'm Scarfed, I do have the U-turn. I'm just going to go straight for that. It only does 9%, but here I can go out to my Skarmory, and predicting him to predict me to Spike, predicting him to taunt, I'm going to taunt. And he can't get up his Stealth Rocks, which means that he has to switch out yet again, which means I can get up my third and final layer of spikes. And at this point, I have all my hazards up, and he has no spinner because he doesn't, I don't know, I guess he didn't think about like spike stacking. And after all this, I still have my Cut Step Berry, but it doesn't matter because he's going to Draco Meteor, crit me, and I'm going to take myself out with a Brave Bird, which is actually good because now I can go out into my Gengar, which is the fastest thing on my team besides my Rachi, as he goes out to his Hippo. And thanks to the spikes and the rocks damage, he's at 28%. And even though what's called Black Sludge Gengar is kind of weak, that's going to be enough to take it out because it was most likely full physically defensive. And here I'm not even sub disable, I'm protect. I don't know why I have protect and that's sub, but I guess my logic was I'm in Sandstorm, so instead of sub, I'm just going to throw on protect and Black Sludge so I don't get worn down. And I'm going to disable his Miracle, and here the Sandstorm takes him to 25%. And if you know anything about Wobbuffet, they carry Cut Step Berries, and at 25% you get +1 priority on Destiny Bond, and I forgot completely about that. And so I don't know, my Gengar just dies because I Shadow Ball as he Cut Step Destiny Bonds. But that's fine because I have a Staraptor. He goes out to Keldeo. I'm going to switch because I don't want this thing to take me out with an HP Ice. Turns out he has the Icy Wind, which is bad because it's still an Ice type move. I'd rather him have like HP Bug, and it turns out he's not even choice. either Specs or Scarf because he does go for Icy Wind and then follows that up with a Hydro Pump. And so here I'm just going to switch out to my Rachi because I am Scarf, and I know that since I'm Scarfed and he's not, I'll be able to outspeed him. So I do take the Hydro Pump since we're in Sand. It doesn't do too much. Not saying that Sand boosts Jirachi's special defense, but saying that it's not water boosted. So I just U-turn out the Tentacruel, and pretty much I'm just trying to wear this thing down. And here I get a Scald Burn, but it really doesn't matter because he does miss a Hydro. But even if I didn't get the burn, he would die at the end of this turn anyway, and he would have been at 6%. So he would have died at the end of next turn. So at worst case, I would have been at 15, around 10%. And he would have still died, so it doesn't really matter. So he brings in his Roserade. He has Hidden Power. I don't know which one because it was neutral, so probably like I don't know what Hidden Power that is actually. But I'm just going to take it out with a Brave Bird, live the recoil, but die to Sand. So now the only thing left is his Metagross. But at this point, his Metagross can easily sweep because of the Earthquake. So pretty much I just have to wear this thing down to a point where Tentacruel Scald will take it out. So I go for the Fire Punch. I get a burn. And he doesn't take me out with an Earthquake, and I can take him out with the next Fire Punch. But the burn matters, but then again it doesn't matter. Now the reason it does not matter is because standard Tentacruel outspeeds Metagross, and after the Life Orb damage he would have been at 26. Scald does 25 to 30 something percent. So unless I got like absolute min damage, he would have died. But it does matter because it turns out that my Tentacruel was actually bold and not 16 speed timid. It was 16 speed bold, which means that he would have outsped me and taken me out with an Earthquake. So the win was his, but I just hacked it straight away from him. So yeah, that was a nice fun battle that we had. It was actually interesting just to see those two teams because, you know, they weren't standard at all, and they had some unused threats being Metagross and Staraptor, which Metagross is actually UU on PO. But yeah, that was that battle. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and check out my boy EonBlitz. Thanks for watching. Remember that you are a rose in a field of daisies. We do this.